Hey there. Today I'm going to be talking about time distortion. And the title is It'll Only Take a Minute. How many times have we said that about some task? It will only take a minute. Now, let me back up just a minute. Janice Russell here. I've done a couple of videos about my rotator cuff surgery, and this is tied onto that, as well as, of course, giving other information outside of that, since hopefully most people here are not going to be getting rotator cuff surgery. For the first 10 days after surgery, I had this look about me. So we had the sling and we have the bolster here, and it was strapped around me, which meant that anytime I wanted to do anything with both hands, this was all I could do because I couldn't move this hand very far. Now, happily, after the 10 days, I was able to get rid of the bolster and get rid of it around. So now I do at least have this. I can move my arm this way, but only so much, because any more than that, and there's pain, in addition to the fact that I have the sling on. And the reason I bring this up is because even over the course of the time since the surgery to today, some of my normal tasks have changed along the way. So I had talked about the fact that I would have to brush my teeth with my left hand. That is a slow and laborious thing since I'm a right-handed person. It has gotten slightly better, A, because I had to practice at it because I was doing it twice a day, and B, because now actually I'm even able to take off the sling a little bit for a few things in addition to the physical therapy that I have to do, the exercises I have to do each day. So I'm able to use it more. So it's heading back down to be about the same amount of time that it normally takes. Things like dressing still takes me a while because I have to actually think about like putting on a shirt, like putting on a shirt and pants. We all pretty much do the same way. You put in one leg and then the other. If you talk to 10 different people, probably about five are going to do the right leg before the left leg, and the other five are going to do vice versa. The same thing with a button up shirt. Half people start it with the right hand, half people start it with the left hand. But you don't really think about it, you just do it. And when you've had surgery like mine, you can't just do it because A, the pain will let you know why you can't, and B, because there has to be a certain order to things. So things that normally I don't think about and that usually only take a minute or two take longer. And again, some of that's starting to change now that I'm able to use the hand a little bit more, but still writing, even just signing my name on on a couple of medical forms took me quite a while to do that with my left hand. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because whether it is some health-based condition or something else going on in life, we often find that things take longer than we think they do. And I'm going to call that time distortion. There are probably lots of different ways we can do it. However, I know that for many of us, we think in terms of we know that 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, 24 hours in a day, yada yada. But a lot of people don't feel that. They know that, but how that time passes, some people are like, yep, I can sort of predict when something's been 5 minutes. And other people are like, yeah, 3 hours later, I had no idea. I would have said that 20 minutes had passed. And so the reason I bring this up is because our brain and the way it sees and feels time, or doesn't see and feel time, impacts our ability to get things done. So, for example, if we'll say other physical conditions, there are other physical conditions, whether it's surgery or cancer or something else physical that's happened, a broken bone, etc. Some of the day-to-day tasks, they change in terms of the amount of time. And of course, some of them you can't even do all together for a period of time. But I'm really talking about those things we do day to day. Honestly, even just walking up and down the stairs takes me a little bit more time. I have to be a little bit more careful. Really don't want to fall and injure anything. However, let's just look at something else. So let's look at maybe if someone had an autoimmune, newly diagnosed autoimmune disorder. Well, that often affects someone's fatigue level. So they may need to get more sleep and plan that into their day. Maybe something happens and they need to alter how they prepare meals. So they've got some new allergy. So maybe before this they always had a bowl of cereal with milk and a clementine for breakfast, and now they need to have eggs and bacon for breakfast. Well, cooking that and cleaning up from that is going to take a lot more time than pouring a bowl of cereal. Not Neither one is right or wrong. It's just that it takes more time, and that affects the whole entire rest of the day. So our how our body reacts, how our brain reacts, impacts how we see the use of our time. And I'm really bringing this up because a lot of times we try to stuff more tasks into the day than is anywhere near possible. And so, what do you do about this? How do you get around this? Well, there are a couple of different ways. Number one is to make sure that you always have clocks around. Now, I know that you probably already have some watch, clock, Fitbit, whatever on your wrist. And you probably have a cell phone. You may or may not have actual clocks around your home or your office. However, being able um, to use these tools in such a way that you realize more about the passage of time is only going to help you. Because a lot of times, literally, we say, I'll be with you in 5 minutes, and it's 15 minutes later. And part of that is because maybe we thought it was going to take 5 minutes and it takes longer. Maybe we finished that task but started something else because we forgot that we promised to go and do whatever with this person. That is one reason why I am a big fan of timers, and one that I will show you here. One of my favorites is the time timer, and that's because it's very visual. So, like here, I have it set for about 22 minutes. And as the time goes away, the red will go away. So I love being able to see that. I also use a lot of digital timers as well. So not just analog, but also digital. Uh, just to keep in mind that everything takes longer than we think it is going to. Whether it is paying bills, whether it is answering an email, whether it's getting things ready for dinner, everything takes longer. And we get frustrated when we don't get things done in the amount of time that we want to. And then we do things like lose out on sleep and other stuff like that to sort of make up for it. So I just wanted to plant the thought that we need to become more aware of how much time is passing during any given activity or task, and then adjust the rest of the schedule accordingly. And when you do this, you'll find you don't get nearly as frustrated or upset with yourself or with other people. So that's just a little bit that I wanted to talk about in terms of it only takes a minute and that idea of time distortion. If you feel that managing your time is something that you may struggle with a little bit, drop me a comment or a question below this video, and I'll see what I can do to address that in future videos. Thanks so much.